Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, heard Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on PSA.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines are brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappala and John Molori.
Oh, my God.
JM, what's
with
going on?
The shirt, dude?
What do you mean, what's with the shirt?
Yeah, Austin Prep.
Okay. Right out of the gate, for our viewers and listeners, Austin Prep is the prep school that I went to, and St. John's Prep is the prep school that this gentleman went to.
Right.
And there's kind of a rivalry.
A little bit, because the kids that can't get into St. John's go to Austin.
All right. See, you just fired the first salvo.
Well,
All right.
I'm just saying.
I will agree.
Let's put it this way. The dumbest kid at St. John's Prep is a valedictorian at Austin.
I will agree. I will agree wholeheartedly that Austin Prep.
No, it's a good school.
It's a great school.
It's a good school.
You know the tuition. The tuition is higher than at St. John's.
I'm sure it is.
But
who doesn't want to go to Reading?
Well, let me just preface this by saying that
something nice happened, so that's why you.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you about that. But Austin Prep cannot compete with St. John's Prep with football. You
sports-wise, no, you
cannot.
cannot.
No, don't say sports-wise.
Sports-wise,
no,
across the board.
No, because you guys have produced a lot of professional football
or
players.
academically, or lunch. Even the lunches are better.
But Austin Prep, year after year.
I'm not going to stop until Leighton stops laughing.
Has kicked. Austin Prep has kicked the proverbial asses of St. John's in hockey across the board.
Plus, we can say proverbial.
All right. Let's end this conversation.
Well, later in the show, or whenever you want, something nice did happen.
Yes, I was asked by Austin to come, and I want to give a shout out to Jen Hotston. They asked me. We went and we presented the library.
The headmaster called you,
right?
And said you have 2 more credits to go.
All right, Leighton is bring. Is
you know
Leighton
what?
on with us? Bring Leighton in.
I've completely ruined the open of the show.
No, Leighton, please don't. You're enabling him. All right. Can you not? I'm asking you not to enable him. Can you do me that favor?
You know, it's funny. We have our holiday party later today, and I haven't touched any alcohol, but yet I feel a little drunk from all this good humor. I appreciate that.
All I want to say is that they asked me, and they asked us, Ellen and I, to present the library with all
the books,
copies of
so
every
there's
one
books.
of our
books. Our books are in the.
But this is very funny. This is very, and then we're going to move on. So I thought it was kind of cool.
That's very
cool.
They
called me up, met the librarian. Some of the students were there, and I present them with these award-winning books. Because in the library, they are creating a wing of publications.
It's more like a section.
Listen to this.
It's not a wing.
Are you done?
I am. Go ahead.
So they are dedicating a section of the library for alums that have published
books. Which is
books.
a great idea.
So I hand him my 6 books, and I start talking to the library. You know what he says to me? I said, so who else has contributed? He says, well, we have a Nobel Prize winner.
Right.
Plus a guy that came in second for the Pulitzer Prize.
Right. And Tom's like, we won the bronze.
I got the Cracker Jack book.
We won the bronze at the Ben Franklin 6 years ago.
No, I've got the autograph book.
Placed third in the soapbox.
That's right.
No, they were all national award-winning books, and we were honored.
Can I say something? That's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's
we're
great.
good. We're good.
I'm going to call St. John's.
You and Ellen, that's amazing.
I'm going to call St. John's and see if they'll let me do that. Because they're not going to call me. I can tell you that right.
All right, listen, a couple things. First, our headlines, and then I want to just make a little statement about one of our loyal viewers.
Yes.
Bill Russell memorabilia fetches $7.4 million in the Boston auction, one of the most complete and valuable single-player collections ever by Hunt Auctions. 400 items. They fetch $7.4 million in sales. And just look at some of this stuff. There's championship rings from 1957 to 69. One ring sold for the 57 rings, $705,000 they sold it for.
Man.
It was just a successful auction.
Jeez.
Congratulations, because a lot of what Bill Russell is doing, he's donating that to some of the different programs in the greater Boston area for kids and the underprivileged. So congratulations. Rich Miller was nice enough to post this story from Sports Collectors Daily. And as always, you can get the news 24/7. Go to sportscollectorsdaily.com.
Russell continues to have that social conscience.
He always
has, and
always
he always
did.
will.
Oh,
so,
it's
nice.
Did we lose Leighton? I guess we lost Leighton. Oh, there he is. He's back.
He's back.
Sorry, my wife is trying to call me.
On her phone?
One thing about Bill Russell.
Just don't let her know about Julie.
You know what kind of a car?
I know.
When I was at Austin,
You're killing it today, Jam.
when I was at Austin, he lived in Reading.
Yeah.
You know what he used to drive for a car?
Yes, he did. He lived in Reading. Right?
You know what he drove for a car?
Don't know.
A Volkswagen Beetle.
So did you see him? Like when you
We
would be
saw
at
him
school?
all the time.
No kidding.
All the time.
Wow.
He used to drive a Volkswagen Beetle. Think
How
about
the hell did he get in a
Bill
they
Russell.
take the front seat
He
out?
had it custom made.
Wow.
He had it custom made.
Wow.
All right, listen, before we get to Leighton, and by the way, this is going to be kind of a free-for-all.
Okay.
Because Leighton's got a lot of stuff going, but
He
Derek
does.
Grady calls me up, Leighton. He says, listen, you got Sheldon coming on? I says, yep. He says, I want to be on with him.
Oh, I'm honored.
So we're going to bring Derek in the second half of the show. We're going to have both of your mugs on camera.
Awesome.
And we're going to
great.
talk about Hanukkah, Christmas, my birthday,
When's your birthday?
June.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw that in. But listen, on a serious note, and today is Friday, and the show is airing on Wednesday, as we all know. But one of our really loyal followers of the show, he's been with us since day one, Jay Gothrow. We got word today that Jay passed away yesterday. I was shocked. I just communicated with him about a week ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the circumstances were or what happened. Jay lost his wife a week ago from COVID.
God.
I didn't know if he had COVID or what the story is, but our condolences to the Gothrow family. Jay was a great guy. I know Jay was when you watch the show and you're watching all the comments,
sure.
guys like Scott Roberts and Stan Orr and Joe Marino, they're always communicating back and forth with each other.
Sure.
So a great loss
God
to
bless
the
and prayers to his family.
to the collectibles world and to
Yeah.
his family. Jay,
No question.
rest
No
in
doubt.
peace. Rest in peace,
It's
brother.
tragic.
All right, our giveaway. This is like a bad penny.
It's like the boomerang gift.
This is a bad penny.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna cease until we give this away. This is the fourth time or third or fourth time.
You're going to show what it is? Or
Yeah, you're gonna hold it up. This is the third or fourth time
You can hold it up.
that we have
is it
tried.
better if he doesn't?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you do it.
This is the third or fourth time that we have, for some reason, tried to give this away out of the Staten Island Joe Marino stolen bag. This is signed by Hall of Fame umpire Al Bollock, who looks a little like
that you can
Molori.
see it.
Looks a little like Sheldon too.
signed in black ink on top of a black jacket.
Leighton, guy looks a little like you. For some reason, anytime we pick a winner, we never hear from them. So this is the fourth time. I'm begging you, if you win today, please, I'm begging you to take Al off my hands. Fair enough?
I am going to go downstairs, light a cigar, and put my ash
Leighton, I'll
out
tell
in
you what
that,
I'm going to
so-
do. If we don't have a winner this week, I'm going to mail this to you. I don't care what the hell you do with it.
Perfect. Fantastic.
To be honest with you, I think it's more of like the thing's a curse or a mush. I'm already a Jets fan. I don't need any more
you
of that
don't
kind of
need
stuff
that,
in my life. Please don't ship it to me. Ship it to anyone else. Thank you.
I have one other question before we get to
I'm
Greg.
already a
I get
Jets fan.
I get calls. I get the same calls from this same guy 3 or 4 times a day. I'm trying to wonder. His name is Poe. Potential spam. Who is he? I get 6 or 7 calls from this guy a day.
But Zap thinks it's from the market. They might have some spam today that he could come in and buy. We have potential spam today.
Exactly. Hey, listen, all kidding aside, Derek, Leighton, welcome. We love you. You know what you mean to us. You're a pioneer, and you really are a pioneer in this whole break phenomena. I mean, you're one of the guys. I know you weren't the guy that created, but you're the guy that took it to a whole freaking another level.
That's for sure.
You really did. how did it all evolve? I mean, you had a nice little Just Collect website. You had a great business, but you went from a great business to something else that just has taken off like you wouldn't believe. You're probably the number one breaks in the. I'm sure you're the number one break show in the country. How did that all evolve?
Well, first off, appreciate you gentlemen having me on the show today. It's an honor to be here, and all the kind words are, frankly, probably too much. But thank you nonetheless. As far as breaking goes, we've talked about a couple things before, but most important thing to me, and my son is a shout out to Crosby, who's going to be 7 years old the day after Christmas. So it's nice to wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Crosby.
Yeah.
And so whether it be to me, you're 7, you're 17, or you're 77, where it all started for me with breaking was really a curiosity, the willingness and the desire to wanting to learn about something new, combining passions, which was cards, right, and business. And then from there, really, this was nice because you're mentioning Just Collect. I will plug us. If it didn't work out, meaning my new idea, it was okay. I had something to fall back on.
Right.
I didn't need to eat from it. No one was depending on me, certainly at the time. And so it really just came down to giving some time to myself to enjoy the National every year, which this year will be in Atlantic City. Super excited about that. Next year, technically,
right.
Will be in Atlantic City, but the next National.
Right.
And so, what I encourage everyone to do is to explore their passions. And so for me, my passion crossed paths with the Breaking Pavilion at the National at this point, probably 5 years ago, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And what I saw going on was very vibrant activity. It looked like real dollars were taking place in terms of, the buying and selling. However, one noticeable thing that I saw the disparity in is that when I left, if you will, the rest of the Nationals main room, and I went over to the Case Break Pavilion 6 years ago, I was like one of the only regular dealers in there. Everyone else was either super young, right? Super hip, in terms of social media and technology, or to be fair, they were, for whatever reason or another, were already immersed in the breaking space. But the common denominator between everyone, every single breaker was breaking, which for those who don't know who are tuning in, is the act of opening up a pack of cards, a box of cards, a whole case of cards for your audience to enjoy, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, so on and so forth. And what's really fun is you don't always have to buy in. You could just be an observant, a participant by watching. But what I saw firsthand, Tom, was the lack of vintage. I went to the National as a card nerd ever since I was a young lad.
Right.
And I've always been, even though I couldn't always afford vintage, I was always taken back by it. So the fact that there was all this going on and I was able to kind of, if you will, if you look at it as being a chef, have my own recipe and my own spin. And so that's what I did after seeing it happen for probably a couple of years in a row. And then I took my love of vintage and decided, I remember the first website we had at vintagebreaks.com was probably, we might have had 20 items for sale, 25 items. And I specifically remember for the first couple of months, we only opened up like 5 or 10 different products.
Really?
So it was really it was such a small group of folks that clearly loved the idea of participating, even if, like I said, they weren't buying in, just watching to see vintage packs be regularly opened. I thought we might have something on our hands. And so, that was really my first, I guess, dive into the pool of breaking. It was not all at once, that's for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about, and you and I talked about this a lot, Leighton, when you hosted with me a few weeks ago, but let's talk about...
By the way, did he send you the check for that? Because he said, you're unbelievable.
No, there's no check.
You said you were going to pay him.
I told him check back.
Oh, okay.
With me.
I'll take a dinner at Eddie V's. Wow, I just discovered that place in your area. It's fantastic.
Where?
At Eddie V's. Am I saying it right?
Eddie
the
V's.
restaurant.
Where's that?
Where's that?
Where?
It's
in Boston.
When I do the Wilmington, Massachusetts show.
Yeah.
And I, because at the Shriners Auditorium.
Yeah.
You can't really stay there, so I stay at a hotel like a Marriott, like 15 minutes away. And there's a few good steakhouses, including Capitol Grill. But I wanted to try something new. So there's a place called Eddie V's.
I have to check this
Seafood.
Really?
Fantastic.
David?
Apparently there's a few locations. It was amazing.
No kidding.
Have you ever heard of it?
Well, next time you're here, Eddie V's is on me. How about that?
Great. Nice.
Hold on.
I'll take that.
So let's never have Leighton on the show.
Am I
I'm
in?
just kidding.
Yeah,
You could come along.
ask your
Bring the
question.
headmaster.
That's great.
Leighton, let's talk about the process by which people get involved with this. And you brought it up in answering Zap's question. One of the things I'm most amazed at is people that don't even buy in. You have just spectators. People just want to see it because it's so exciting. Going back to when we were kids, opening up a pack, live. But let's talk about how people get involved with it, the sign-up process, and how people can join in.
Hold on. Before you answer that question, one thing
go
I
ahead.
want to add to what you said, Leighton, we've talked about it a million times, but I've never gotten involved with vintage breaks, but I have watched many of your shows, and I don't participate, but I enjoy them. And again, when we were on the stage at the Burkus, when you opened up the 55 Bowman Mantle, I mean, Rico and I, we were just enjoying watching what you were doing.
It's incredible.
And then all of a sudden, when you break a pack and a Mona Lisa comes out, people like freak out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about that a little bit, Leighton.
Sure. It's funny. I was reading an article earlier this morning about a $1 billion valuation on an esports business. Now, I'm certainly not comparing breaking and the stars of breaking, right? Like J5 and S10 and some of our crew here at Vintage Breaks. And across the industry, there's a lot of, great folks that have nice personalities and market themselves accordingly. But, when you consider that there's people that are watching other folks simply play video games, talk about their experience while doing it.
Exactly.
It's really not that wild or that crazy. I mean, I see what Crosby, my 6-year-old, is participating in on YouTube and, what he likes, what he enjoys participating in and watching. And so it's not just the thrill of the hunt. It's not just what might come out, but there really is a community nature, almost like the way you would find at your card shop. And let's be honest, even though there's still a lot more card shops than there were a couple of years ago, my local card shop's not a couple of minutes from my house.
Right.
So it's not that convenient if you're someone who wants to nerd out daily or a few times a week, that like 40 minutes comes off the top of to and from the card shop. Maybe you have an extra 10 or 15 minutes if you're someone who has a free hour a day. And so what a lot of our folks are doing, and this is what's amazing to me, I'll find out later on, hey, how did such and such get into that break? They're like, Leighton, he's been watching us for months. He doesn't really have the budget to buy into breaks, but he enjoys watching. He participates in our trivia and some of our giveaways, and he saved up $75 in break credit. It really brings a smile to my face.
That's cool.
That's
not
good.
only
That's cool.
Developed a community where, listen, don't get me wrong, we have to buy and sell in order to pay our people.
Sure.
That's just the way it works.
Right.
However, the way you can't predict it will work, which is something I call the secret sauce, is exactly what I just mentioned. We have folks that are just watching us for the sake of entertainment, for the sake of enjoying the cards themselves, the community nature, or frankly, any or all of the above. It's something that I can see as analogous to the esports industry. And I think, forget about vintage breaks, all of the breakers who are putting forth their best effort every day, it really helps to lift up everyone because you're now actually providing a form of entertainment, not just a niche, meaning a vintage break, but you actually are in the breaking community. And that's how I feel as the owner or one of the main owners of Vintage Breaks is, yes, it's our company, but really I'm part of something bigger. And for the next, whatever it is, decade or decades to come, if folks enjoy this form of entertainment, this wouldn't be the craziest thing to catch on, in the last, let's say, several years in the hobby, considering the growth that we've seen.
Yep. So I'm watching Great American Collectibles Show this coming week. I see Leighton Sheldon on the show. He's talking about breaks, all this fun stuff, watching, getting involved, buying in. Take us through the process where this person that's never seen you before, where do they go? What do they do? How do they buy in and get involved?
Great. Well, I appreciate you asking, JM. So the easiest thing to do, especially for a first-time customer, is you can sign up for free at vintagebreaks.com, and you will get a $15 break credit on the house. So what's really nice about that is shipping's included as long as it's domestic. And you can buy, let's say, a spot in a 1982 Donruss baseball pack for $3. You can buy a spot in a 1989 Upper Deck pack for $3, meaning you can go budget, or you can buy a little bit more of an expensive spot for $10 or $12 or $15. Never spend a single penny yourself. You're going to get the card or cards in the breaks that you bought in, and which is super fun. I know a lot of folks feel like it's the best kept secret about vintage breaks, but it's our bonuses. So on any given day or time, you might be able to win something like a T206 Ty Cobb, which we're currently running a big event for, a 1929 Caution Babe Ruth, thousands of dollars in break credit, Mickey Mantle cards, and everything in between. So what's really fun, gang, is that if you sign up for this $15 and you participate in our breaks, and you decide that even if it's not for you in terms of your budget, it doesn't fit what you can afford, but you like it, well, guess what? That $15 of purchases will actually count towards any bonuses we have running. So you could literally turn a free sign up into free cards, and if you get really lucky, into a free Hall of Famer or some other giveaway that we have
really
running.
neat.
Very cool.
That's so
at
good,
a given
man.
time. And so if you want to watch us, it's pretty simple. You simply go on YouTube to youtube.com/vintage breaks. You can also find Vintage Breaks on Facebook. However, if you want to know like the really juicy details about the thousands of dollars we're giving away in our next big event, which will be in late January, you could do that on our event page at event.vintagebreaks.com.
We are chatting with Leighton Sheldon from Vintage Breaks /Just Collect. When we come back, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the high-end buy-ins, too, because I went online, and I want you to take us through that, too, because there are high rollers and there are budget people.
That's right.
Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
Hi everyone, I'm Rico Petroselli and I'm very excited to talk to you about our new partner, Panini America. Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we're proud to have them as the official trading card of the Great American Collectibles Show. When it comes to modern trading cards of your favorite players, Panini America leads the way in terms of innovation, design, creativity, value, and fun. From landmark brands such as Donruss, Prism, and Contenders to high-end juggernauts like Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate, Panini America delivers the hottest trading cards of the biggest names in the NBA, NFL, MLB, PA, NASCAR, soccer, and college. When you want to collect the best, collect Panini America. Ask for it at your local hobby shop or at mass retailers like Target and Walmart. And you can always find Panini America online at icollectpanini.com. Panini America. Who do you collect? How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Well, look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Okay, we are back, and Leighton is in the house. Leighton Sheldon from Vintage Breaks / You know something? I was just talking to John. I think I'd like to. We can talk about this on the air, right, John?
We talk about everything on the air.
Right. You know something, Leighton? I think we should switch.
As opposed to other shows that have well-developed scripts. Right.
Show prep. Listen, we live by the mantra, Leighton, we live by the mantra, show prep is our enemy. But
sadly, whatever comes to mind, we throw out.
No, but you know something? I think we'd like to do switch it out, your commercial, and do a Vintage Breaks commercial. If that's okay with you.
That's a good idea.
Right?
That's a great idea.
So we'll talk after the show. But listen, I want to ask you about.
I like that.
I want to talk to you about the high dollar buy-ins. All right. So can you give us an example of one of the the most expensive buy-in you've ever had, how it worked, and what the opening was?
Sure. So the first thing I'm going to start off by saying, and this might surprise you, as much as I do love breaking, and I think it's a wonderful form of entertainment, it's an interesting way to collect, because we're now going to talk about some expensive breaks. I'm going to start off with one in particular that was very expensive that didn't go that great. And the reason why I'm starting with that is because I want everyone to understand that whether it be with vintage breaks or any of the other dozens or hundreds of other breakers out there, be careful. Meaning, set yourself a budget.
Right.
No matter what, no matter what it is. If it's $10, if it's $100, if it's $1, if anyone does judge you, maybe it's not the community for you. But I can tell you that just like holiday time, right? And you go to, shopping with your friends and family, and you kind of feel a little bit of social peer pressure to buy that super expensive coat that you really don't need. The same thing can happen in breaks. And so, if you are of the logic that, hey, I'm a Yankee collector, God forbid, right?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to try to get that game used jersey card of Donnie Baseball that was in there. Truth be told, a lot of the times you're going to be better served to just buy the card itself versus chasing it through a break.
Yeah.
And so you may say, like, well, why is he saying this? It could hurt his business. Because the reality of it is, and I do believe this, that no matter whether it be you're in baseball cards, whether it be you're in breaking, you're in the lumber business, right? You're in the entertainment business. The more you can connect with your audience and the more transparent you can be and the better advice you can give them, it's all going to come back to serve you, better in the end. And so with that being said, I'm going to start off with a particular break, which I was super excited about. We did it live, meaning it sold out. We did it live from the Valley Ford show just a couple of weeks ago, where you guys were at the previous show.
Yeah.
The spot price was $2,250 per spot.
So hold on. So let's make sure we understand this. So there was a $2,000. Say round it off to $2,000. So there was a $2,000 buy-in on the break per spot. And how many spots were there?
One card.
Wow. How many spots were there?
There were 10.
Okay. So what happened?
Well, it was a box of 2019 National Treasures First Off the Line basketball. So for those of you who are not familiar with that draft class, even though Zion's out at the moment, still filled with ton of potential.
Right.
John Morant,
right.
RJ Barrett, Tyler Harrow,
yep.
like the list goes on and on.
Right.
However, when there's only 10 cards in a box, anything can happen.
Right.
And in fact, in this case, it did, in the sense of we're about 5 cards in, and it wasn't going well. Like, we didn't get anything juicy. And it's 5 cards in. I don't know if you guys have ever felt this, but have you ever been in a store, let's say going food shopping, And even though you're not looking behind you or to your right, to your peripheral vision, you just feel like someone's watching you or you can see them somehow. So I somehow see Ken Golden and his son Paul at our booth. And Ken was, Golden Auctions has a booth at the show.
Right.
But I thought what was great is his son Paul's a little bit older than my son Crosby. It seemed like they were just walking around and having fun together, which obviously anyone could appreciate at any level.
Yeah.
And so we're like about halfway through the break. As I mentioned, it's not going great. I'm like, oh, what's a great way to, basically get people more excited about this break? That's
Bring
not going
Kenny
so
Golden
well?
in.
Bring in Kenny Golden. So I say, hey, Ken, how are you? It's nice to see you. Do you want to join us? He's not one to shy away from, the public eye.
No way.
And it was really adorable because not only did Ken join us, but his son Paul did. Now, we're going to get to the rest of the break, which didn't go great. We got a couple cards of consequence, but I don't know I think 8 of the 10 people lost money, maybe even 9 of the 10.
Really?
Meaning it was totally random. You don't know. The box goes for like $15,000, $18,000. So if you do the math, it's not like there was a lot of profit.
Sure.
It's that we did it for the notion of opening up a super duper exciting box. However, I did this to show you that just because a break is expensive and it costs a lot to get into,
Right.
it does not mean that you're going to pull something of anything, substantial. And I don't want to get off on a sidetrack, so I want to get back to Ken in a minute. This is why set breaks have become very popular with the vintage breaks community. And for those of you who do not know what a set break is, we have set breaks that range from $10 to $500 a spot. But what's really nice about a set break, for example, we have an upcoming 1951 Bowman set break, 324 cards. Now, whatever the buy-in is, let's just say it's $250. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, someone's going to win the Mickey Mantle rookie,
That's right.
rated PSA 3.5. Someone's going to win the Willie Mays rookie, rated PSA 2.5. So it's just really about like
Gotcha.
your risk reward, proposition and in terms of what you're looking to collect. And so set breaks are a really nice change of pace for a lot of our clients that may not like that risk proposition of something so expensive like a National Treasures box. But to get back to Ken and his son, so we finish up the box. Like I said, a few better cards when they were there, thankfully. But then I saw the opportunity, and I only do this because I really do hope one day that as my son gets a little bit older in the hobby and in a place that I love, that people are going to be as warm and welcome to him as I try to be to others. And so I asked Paul if he wanted, because, I don't know, he's a young kid. Did you want to open up a pack live on camera? I know he's comfortable with it because I've seen it on, his own show with his dad that he does.
Yeah.
And yep, he was very excited. I gave him a pack of 2018 Optic basketball. And although we didn't get anything super duper great, you could just see like he thoroughly was a ham. He enjoyed showing every card, to the camera. And we try to take the best of what was not a great situation, meaning this break, which didn't yield, any super treasure, and still try to have fun with it. And so sometimes you win and sometimes you lose in terms of, the risk. But I would say one of the greatest wins of all time, and you guys, at least Tom, you were there for this, is when we did pull the 1955 Bowman Mickey Mantle out of what we now call the pack herd around the world. We have a video on YouTube.
I watched
on
that
our
the other
Vintage
day.
Breaks channel
Yeah.
that has tens of thousands of views on it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because even to this day, people still comment, Tom, hey, did you guys, what was wrong with the audio? This is a terrible camera work. And I'm like, guys, if I thought that Moses was going to be parting the Red Sea that day, well, of course I would have got more cameras and I would have checked the audio. I had no idea that was going to happen. That's absurd.
I'll tell you what, Rico, I've told the story a zillion times. I'm sitting here.
I watched the
Rico's
video.
sitting here.
Yeah.
Leighton's sitting here.
Yeah.
He screams, and everybody, there was like a lot of people in the audience, kind of just quiets, right? Rico was afraid to touch the card.
Yeah.
He refused to touch the card. Honest to God. That was great. That was fun. That was a fun project.
We talk a lot on the show, Leighton, in a lot of ways with a lot of backdrops about vintage versus modern. Not always versus vintage and modern. Collectors, where are they going? In the backdrop of what you do with Just Collect and Vintage Breaks, what's the breakdown? Is vintage standing up to modern? Is modern standing up to vintage? What's the balance there?
Good question.
It's a great question. So, the first thing is, and my dad, I do appreciate that he kind of let me figure out my own way in the card space as a young kid. But one of the things I wish I would have figured out is it didn't matter how much I poured in. It was still a lot of money to me at the time. I would have loved to have been able to balance, right, and diversify. So although it was wonderful, my dad said complete sets. He wasn't like, hey, complete a vintage set versus a modern.
Right.
He was like, go do what you want. The reality of it is, if I would have just bought a single Ty Cobb T206 in low grade, one low grade Ruth Gowdy when I was a kid, and I had the money to do it, I just didn't have any direction or understand, the idea of diversifying. And so my thought is this, JM, it's really hard to predict the future.
Yeah.
But if you look at it and you can still have fun diversifying, well, I think that there's great modern cards, and I do this. I add them to my vintage portfolio because maybe my Clemente rookie is going to go up, but it's probably going to be slow and steady. And even though there's no, guarantee that my Luka or JoJo Adele cards are going to go up, for me, if you don't do it also for fun, then you might as well just trade stocks or just trade crypto or, meaning have no emotional attachment to it. And so, as far as modern goes, I know there's a big movement now away from base and like the idea of you have to collect something numbered or special or short printed for it to hold value long term. And what I would just say is when everyone says one thing, be careful. So they talk about this often right in the betting world, and I don't really bet. But, if everyone's saying one thing, don't be afraid to go against the grain. I will tell you, I was collecting 1984 Chicago Bulls rookie year tickets of Jordan before, not everyone, but before many people.
Yeah.
I wasn't fortunate enough to buy a first game ticket, which just sold last night for over $270,000.
Wow.
It was the most ever paid for a PSA graded ticket. So there's some amazing stuff going on right now in the hobby, not just with cards, but with tickets. And so to your point, JM, it's not vintage and modern. I collect Type 1 photos. I've been collecting them since I was at Leland 17 years ago. And some of the ones I bought 17 years ago are worth a lot more today than I paid 17 years ago. But I didn't only buy Type 1 photos. I bought some other stuff, and I've enjoyed the journey. So I guess my advice is to be careful, try to diversify, and enjoy your journey.
I agree 100. That's one of the best answers we've gotten on the vintage modern thing since I started doing the show. Question on that Jordan ticket, because a lot of people ask me about tickets, but since I started doing this show, was it ripped?
I believe it was a stub, but it was still graded a 6. So it's a great question, JM. PSA will grade either a full ticket on a numerical scale, 1 through 10.
Yeah.
Or they will grade a stub on a numerical scale, 1 through 10.
Yeah.
In this case, I believe it was a stub, and it was graded a 6.
Gotcha.
But I have to double check.
Gotcha.
All right, listen, Leighton is in the house. We're going to take a step back, take a break. Then when we come back, there's going to be another picture, another image of another individual.
Okay.
I hope he doesn't have that goddamn leather hat on, that stupid hat that he wears.
So if I want to high five him, I could do that.
You can do that.
That's fun.
We're going to bring Grady in, and all hell's going to... The first thing we're going to ask Grady, what he wants for Christmas. Fair enough?
I like that.
All right, we'll be right back.
Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we are proud to have them as the official trading card company of the Great American Collectibles Show. Panini leads the way in innovation and design with great brands like Donruss, Prism, Contenders, Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate. Partnering with the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball Players Association, NASCAR, FIFA, and college, Panini is certainly at the head of the hobby. You can find Panini products in major retailers like Walmart and Target, or online at icollectpaniniamerica.com. That's Panini America. Who do you collect?
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectables Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Rare dead stock to the latest release, new or pre-owned. The drops never stop. eBay, authenticity guarantee.
And Zap, with the holiday season, right here. It's right here. eBay is the place to go for all of your memorabilia, sports or non-sports cards, autographs, and much more. Whether it's a gift for that special someone or you just want to add to your collection, eBay's huge marketplace should be your first stop. And if you sell, now's the time to flip those cards and get some extra holiday cash. I shop on eBay all the time. That's eBay, connecting buyers and sellers.
You know what I just bought on eBay?
Wait, globally.
You know what I just bought on eBay?
What'd you buy?
A back shaver.
Nice. It's about time.
Right. What do you think?
It's nice.
Is Grady in the house? Grady.
I am.
Derek,
hear me?
Can you see Leighton?
I can see Leighton. Yeah.
Leighton, can you see Derek?
Hey, what's up, Derek? Yes, I can.
Hey, what's up, Leighton?
Not too much, are you?
Wait, I thought that was Vince Vaughn for a minute. Wait, okay. No, that's
my
Leighton.
brother Billy.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, listen, first of all, I'm glad you guys mean a lot to us, and we're glad you're both on.
That is nice.
Grady, just out of curiosity.
Warm, fuzzy feeling.
I know.
Out of curiosity, did you get me a Christmas present?
You know, maybe I should.
I think just him being on the show is gift enough.
Oh, it is.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
But I mean, look,
It's the gift that keeps on giving for
Here's what I'm gonna
17 minutes.
I'm going to give you what you give our 14 listeners. You give them the worst door prizes known to man.
Listen to this one.
Worst.
I got the Al Bollock again. This guy comes back to haunt us. I can't give this thing away. Let's do it right now.
This is the first prize where I would actually rather have the bag.
I've 4 times. 4 times we've had this damn thing up and nobody wants it. So, okay, let's do it right now.
Come on.
What are we giving it? So what do you mean? We're giving it to who?
We're going to pick out of the hat.
Oh, it's the stuff in here? All right. Thought it was a prop.
And be careful whose name you pick.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
No, just be careful.
I know.
Hey, Leighton, so
Right. He's in there.
I'm
for our
gonna
appearances
look.
next year.
Right. All
He's
right. I did
in
not
there.
pick him.
Yeah, I'm going to
Jeez.
negotiate it.
Go ahead. Who do we
All
got?
right. The winner is Paul Licciardi.
Oh, Paul, I know Paul.
Paul Licciardi.
Paul, you know something? Paul is a local guy. I'm going to shove this in his mouth if he doesn't take it because I know Paul. He's gonna freaking take this.
Whatever you do in your free time is.
Paul Licciardi, I'm telling you right now, you don't even have to PM me. All right? I'm going to give
Show
you
me
this.
your house.
Right. I'll kill you if you don't take it. It's very simple.
Dave, I cannot control myself any longer.
All right. Listen, I got a question for both of you guys.
You need to keep that, or should I put it back in the
No, I
bag?
need it here.
All right.
I have a question for both of you guys. You know, you mentioned, Leighton, limited prints. And if I'm off base here, I want you to correct me. But collecting my T206 cards, your T206 cards, the Gaudis, those cards are no longer being printed. What you see is what you get. Aren't the card manufacturers creating, this whole speculation thing with guys investing in this and this? Aren't they creating this because of the limited print editions of some cards? Don't answer too quickly, both of you.
You said it was for Leighton, so I'm letting Leighton.
I'm pretty sure they dozed off after that 10-minute question.
I'm saying, aren't they creating this speculative market?
So here's the thing. At the most basic level, guys, it's still supply and demand. So on the one hand, yes, are they manufacturing scarcity? Absolutely. When you have numbered cards of Mac Jones and there's 37 versions that are numbered to 10, you make a really good point. That being said, if there's a limited supply and there's more demand that outweighs the supply,
it doesn't matter.
I would say it doesn't really matter. However, I think what happens is, instead of the Mac Jones, what I believe, and I'm making up with Mac Jones, instead of the cards costing, let's say, $100 each or $10 each, because they now have been manufactured with this scarcity in mind, they're selling for $500 each or thousands of dollars each.
Exactly.
So I think in that case, or in those cases, you have to be smart. You have to go to someone like Derek from Heritage, like many of the other folks who've been around the industry for decades. And even if you don't want to buy from them or sell to them, ask them their opinion. Hey, does it make sense? I'm about to spend $8,400 on a Mac Jones rookie. And it doesn't mean that you're wrong, but it would be wonderful if you had a guide or a mentor to say to you, hey, for whatever it's worth, for $8,400, you could get a really nice look at 53 Topps Mantle.
Exactly.
And then you take a look at it and you're like, wow. Now it's not going to grow like the way a tech stock would. It's more going to grow like a slow, Dow 30 stock. Right. However, you have to think about what you're trying to get out of it. And if you don't care about things going to zero, well, then maybe you take a shot at your Mac Jones rookie, because they may go up exponentially more if he continues great play and somehow, some way, the Pats win the Super Bowl this year. Things would go nuts. At the same time, if he gets hurt and suffers a career-ending injury, it doesn't matter to the degree they produced all these cards with manufacturing scarcity. No one would desire his cards. Thus, no matter how limited the supply, the demand will be low, and the cards won't sell for very much.
Derek?
I mean, how can I add to that? It's good. It was long, but it was good. I was he's right. And it doesn't matter. Look, they're creating scarcity. But at the end of the day, there are only so many. And what we're seeing is his example of $8,400. I bet you there's a lot of people that want to spend $8,400 on a limited edition Mac Jones. Unfortunately, when that National Treasures comes out, people are saying it's going to be over $100,000.
That's unbelievable.
This guy's in his rookie. But back to Leighton's point, for $100,000, you're now getting a 51 Bowman Mantle in 7 and a check for $10,000 or $20,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that is crazy.
Dinner with Derek.
Dinner with me, yeah, less than $100,000
at Eddie V's. We're going to Eddie V's.
Eddie V's.
And the reason I asked the question is I'm thinking of a guy like Zion. Is it Zion? Zion Williamson.
That's Zion. It's Zion.
Zion.
So he can't stop eating.
No, right. He's eating himself out of the league.
Right.
And as a result, his card is dropping like his weight. I mean, it's as fast as his weight. So, I mean, I'm using that as an example. A lot of people have spent a lot of money in the early days initially on Zion Williamson cards.
We've sold a lot.
Right?
And we've sold a lot, but I've seen them selling for I remember somebody offering $500,000 to pull that National Treasures, and somebody got it. And look, there it is. Like Leighton said, it is big risk, big reward. I don't do that. I doubt Leighton does that. We're more blue chip than we are speculative. Like, I'm not going to go, why would I buy a Mac Jones card for $100,000? I like the kid. I think he's really good. congrats to you guys with the Patriots replacing Brady with Mac Jones. That's
Thank you.
It looks really good.
Look at the smirk on Leighton's face. Look at the smirk.
Leighton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
green, and he just likes seeing me.
Yeah.
I'm a regular when Leighton has a microphone. I'm over there.
We've been having a good old time at Valley Forge. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
That's
listen,
where we see each other.
I feel like this is amazing to have these two guys. I feel like we have some great sports minds on this show right now, plus Zap. So, I mean, I think this is a good time.
Yeah, -1.
I'd like to get both of your opinions, and yours if you want.
Thank you.
Mostly theirs.
Thank you.
Steph Curry last week broke the all-time three-point mark in NBA history. I'm going to give you a quick blurb on me. Is he the greatest shooter who ever lived? I can be talked into that. I'm an 80s curmudgeon. I saw a lot of great shooters over the last 30, 40 years, but I can be talked into it. I don't think he changed the game. I think he was part of a game that had already changed. Anyway, I'm not putting him down. He's a great player, 3 titles. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the great players of all time.
Two-time MVP.
Yeah, 2-time MVP, so I'm not putting him down at all. I don't think he was the Michael Jordan, or Bill Russell, that type of game changer, but great player all around, legend. Where are his items? Where are his cards now? His autograph memorabilia.
It's actually
where does he sit in the marketplace now? Yeah,
game-worn jerseys, his rookie cards.
Yeah,
dude, I honestly believe he is the best shooter. I
agree with that. I think he's the best shooter ever.
Best pure shooter.
Best pure shooter, outside shooter.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
If he can see the hoop out of the corner of his eye,
I'm with you.
It's insane what he's done.
Yeah.
It really is insane.
All right, so are his cards like short term right now at this snapshot in time between his cards and memorabilia? Is there going to be a spike because he broke the record and then it'll go down, or will they just continue?
We all knew he was going to break the record. I mean, people should have already. I already think that spike was already happening.
Sure,
we already knew he was going to break the record. Unless he gets hurt, he's going to just keep draining threes. I mean, he's a great player.
You know, I was a shooter like that at Austin Prep.
Oh, please stop.
But Leighton, what do you think of? Yeah, I'm sure you would. But what you see is as LeBrons go crazy, what happened? People go back and say Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Steph Curry.
Right.
Every Jordan goes crazy, so they go after the other guys. So that's what people should be doing, is thinking, well, who's undervalued? Maybe Ray Allen's undervalued.
Maybe he is, right.
Okay, because Steph just broke his record, right?
Yeah.
Well, Ray Allen's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So why are we not? Is Ray Allen? I mean, you got to start thinking who is, instead of jumping on the Luka and LeBron bandwagon and Michael Jordan, where nothing's undervalued anymore, really.
Right.
In my opinion, anyway. You start looking for the other guys that are in the Hall of Fame that are getting overlooked.
Leighton, what about you on Steph?
So, great player. I certainly didn't grow up where you gentlemen grew up, but I grew up a Celtics fan, and I'm definitely partial to Larry Bird.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm a big believer of all right, so you guys know he's hot. Like Derek said, the price was already baked in for him to break the 3-point record. However, if he wins the title this year, that's an exciting thing for his cards and memorabilia.
Oh, see, that's cool.
And so,
no, he's right.
That's because no one thought in the beginning of the year, and Derek, I think, will agree, that prior to the season, it wasn't like Golden State was favored to win the title. No. So if he gets another MVP and another world title under his belt, I think that takes him up another level, much closer to the MJ and the LeBrons of the world versus, let's say, the Giannis of the world, where really great player, has a title, maybe 2, but, not that the jury's out, because Steph's definitely a Hall of Famer. But I think really it's like, well, what's his place, or where's his place in history? And let's be honest, at his age, if he gets another MVP and he gets another title, look what happened to Brady. I mean, I'm not comparing Brady to Curry, but I'm just saying, Curry has room to grow still.
But, you can.
I'm not personally.
And you can favorably compare him, if he gets that, to Kobe Bryant. I mean, he's in that conversation now with those guys.
There's no doubt. Hey, Derek, before you came on, we were talking about vintage breaks. Why don't you tell us what's going on with Heritage?
Yeah.
Well, we just are putting to bed our catalog for January. We have a big card-only auction in January.
I think if you had a picture of me in that catalog, I think you would get a lot more viewers.
I'll talk to Ivy. We'll see if we can get you to even just put a few words to a write-up.
We should do. We should get a picture of him in the librry at Austin Prep.
He doesn't know about that.
Yeah, with the headmaster and the section.
Grady doesn't know about that. Let's move on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So our catalog coming up, first day vintage, second day modern, end of January. That's going to launch sometime around the first week of January.
Very
Okay.
cool. Very cool.
So that auction, we're breaking up the number 114 Cracker Jack set.
Wow.
All on our way. It's gorgeous. Got a Lajoie 9, a 51 Bowman Mantle 8.
You said
we
the
have
14?
A 14 Cracker Jack set. Yeah, the tough one.
What's the Matty?
I believe it's a 5.
Wow.
The Cobb's an 8.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's insane. The set's insane. It's great. Okay, but again, there's something for everybody. Wax boxes, sets, vintage cards, modern cards, the whole thing. Now, then we're also
You're so matter of fact about like the stuff that you like.
This is my day-to-day job, my friend. We do at Heritage.
We got a 14 Matty
Heritage is
Cracker Jack
losing
PSA
money.
5.
Hey, we're losing money when I hang out with you guys. Hanging out with Leighton, I make money when I hang out with Leighton. But when I hang out with you guys, this is just, I just blew off 2 consigners probably calling me right now to talk to you.
Hey, I have a question for you, gentlemen. I think this is a cool question for the show, right, from our different perspectives. But money is no object, piece of memorabilia or a card. What would you guys buy for your collection that, whether it be you sell it down the road or not, is really irrelevant? But just
one item or a group of items?
It could be a set.
He said one item.
Well, no, because
I
I was telling JM during the commercial break, I've been liquidating my T206 collection to some private sales. I'm keeping my key ones, but I really want to have a signed baseball from every member of the initial Hall of Fame class.
Oh, that's good stuff.
See, that's cool thing.
That's what my goal
That's
is.
pretty neat. Yeah.
I want to have one signed ball from every one of those. Now, see, Grady is looking at me like I have like 3 heads right now.
No, I think that's a good choice.
Yeah,
I'm shocked that you picked something. I thought you'd say like a box of Garbage Pail Kids or something stupid. But no, I mean, I just don't know what's going to come out of your mouth. But I mean, that's an intelligent, well thought out piece of memorabilia.
Which hence the surprise.
Yeah, hence the shock. Like you just don't know what he's going to say.
Right, exactly.
How about you? Yeah.
So honestly, and this is kind of personal. I know it's probably not the most. It's not the most valuable.
I get a feeling
you'll never guess what I said.
It's going to be a LeBron something.
It's not. No, it's not. It's actually. I want that card. I think it was probably 1980 or 81. It was the perforated one that had Bird and Irving and
the
Magic.
rookie card.
The rookie card. And here's why I want it, because I was holding that in my hand when I was like 15, man. My cousin had it. And what did we do? We broke it up.
I think we
broke it up.
You can get one of those easily.
Yeah, here's why we broke it up. Neither one of us. Yeah, I'm going to buy one.
But hold on.
That's my point. It's not something that's very expensive.
Yeah, well, it is.
Hold
on. What's a PSA 9 in that card worth?
Oh, 30 grand?
Yeah, so I mean,
I think they're even more than that.
Yeah.
But let's just say
yeah.
I took the Bird. I took the Bird. I took the Bird. My cousin liked the Sixers, so I took the Bird. He took the Irving, and we threw the Magic away because we both hated the Lakers.
That's great.
That's called perspective right there. That's good foresight.
We have a few minutes left. All right, so Derek, seriously, what's your Christmas wish?
He's going to get it in about 3 minutes when this show ends.
No, I'm saying, like, by that.
Wait. World peace.
Oh,
that's good. No, that's good. I like that. I like that.
That'll take care of itself.
Leighton?
No, look, let's get rid of COVID and let everybody get back to enjoying
that's a
their
good
life.
one.
We only got one chance.
That's a good one
on this planet, and let's, too many people dying, obviously not enjoying themselves.
Yeah,
I'm still going, thank God. Yeah. And our business is great. Other people are hurting. We just want.
It's been something.
It's been a long time.
Making a damn good point, Leighton. What is your wish for 2022?
Well, I guess as far as the hobby is that the good, cheer and the good vibes continue for anyone and everyone, from collectors to auction houses to investors. I personally am a fan of all the business activity happening, even though I know some of it can be a little bit scary or unsettling for people. I just remember graduating Rutgers College in 2000, and the industry as we know it is not the same as it was in 2000, which is just 21 years ago. So the fact that my son Crosby, who's 6, will be 7 the day after Christmas, if he wants, as he grows up, this industry, this hobby, whatever you call it, will be a place that will be a wonderful way to make a living if that's what he likes. If he doesn't like that,
cool. Very
then
cool.
So be it. But I think that's something that I'm personally very proud of. And then, at a macro level for the hobby, I think it's wonderful news. And then, listen, without getting too mushy, whether it be congenital hyperinsulinism, which affects my son and about 1 in every 50,000 babies born every year, so lots of other, rare conditions and diseases that affect especially children across the world. Yeah, all of the amazing parents that start organizations, to help families like mine, to deal with it from birth and then as the kids grow up is unbelievable. So I'm very thankful for that.
We have been blessed.
I don't get one?
Oh, no. Go, bro.
I'd like to just host with Rico more often, just the two of us.
I understand.
Yeah.
Get a limo to pick me up.
Oh, and also world peace. Yeah, that's good.
No, you know something?
I would make a good road trip, man. You get me in that limo, I'll go up to
I'm
Boston
kidding.
for
I
a
love
day
you.
and a half.
We've been blessed.
Hey,
I think we've all
get
been
us up
blessed.
there.
Yeah,
If I can do one other thing, how about unity? Like, we can all have our own opinions, but when the what hits the fan, we got to come together.
Absolutely.
That's what I'd like.
Absolutely.
As Americans.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Correct.
I think, Derek's political beliefs and mine are kind of similar. And we've talked about that. We somehow we got to move more to the middle.
Absolutely.
Got to move more to the middle.
Yeah.
Everyone, you know. With that being said, guys,
great show.
You guys
Awesome.
mean a lot to us.
Awesome.
You know that,
Yeah.
both of you.
Oh, thank you.
And we wish you guys a very healthy, happy Christmas. Hey, Grady, by the way, I didn't get a commitment from you. January 7th show, I'm flying to Florida, and Rico's flying to Florida. So Molori's handling it by himself. Are you in or are you out?
If I can get up there.
No, you don't have to. You can do it remotely.
Do it like this if you want.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, sure. I might even be up there for a consignment. So, yeah, I can do it.
All right, great.
Perfect.
With that being said, we love you guys. Leighton,
All right.
Derek, you
Have great
guys are
holidays,
two of the
guys.
best. And to our viewers and listeners,
Good.
happy holidays. We love you. Happy collecting.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.